Welcome to my adventure in life. I'm returning with my lovely daughter to my childhood village. The chief, thrilled at seeing Philip, hugged him like a kid. They used to play together like little birds, but in the blink of an eye, it's been years since Philip left. The village chief welcomed Philip and his daughter into the house like he was greeting a celebrity. Before dinner, the village chief asked curiously, "Philip, what new things did you do in America?" Philip smiled. Something happened, but it settled. The village chief excitedly shared the recent big news with Philip. 2 days ago, an armored convoy rolled into the village. It was like a scene from a movie. That crook named Terry shouted that he was looking for Philip, claiming that if they couldn't find him, the whole village would be in trouble. Sounds like a script for a thriller. When everyone looked completely innocent, Terry gave his henchman a wink, and suddenly, the villagers were shaking in their boots. Despite this, no one betrayed Philip. Another henchman stepped in. Chaos ensued. Just then, a motorcycle roared in, and riding it was a fierce girl, Philip's cousin Lydia. She promised to reveal Philip's whereabouts to Terry, but only if villagers were spared the true hero. Terry's face fell immediately, staring at the villagers like he was about to cry, while Lydia seized the chance to snatch a gun from one of the thugs. The village chief reluctantly revealed where the village folk were, inadvertently making Philip the target of a manhunt. Philip knew it was all his fault that the villagers were in trouble, but he wasn't in the mood to blame the village chief. Fortunately, Lydia wasn't seriously hurt. Philip felt sorry, and Lydia wondered how he attracted these uninvited guests. The village chief pondered, "Now that this happened, we must solve it completely, otherwise Terry will definitely be back." Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Philip decided to visit his CIA buddy Holman, but Lisa asked, "Why do the hitmen have your photo?" Holman shrugged. The agency deleted all info, leaving everyone confused and helpless. After hearing this, Philip didn't dwell on it since they were set on dealing with Terry, making Holman think they had really lost their minds. However, Philip already had a plan. They had learned that Terry owned a $500 million encrypted ledger. So their plan was to steal Terry's encrypted ledger, but their biggest problem was they had no clue where it was hidden. This required Holman to dig around. However, Holman indicated their goal wasn't just to grab the ledger, there was a bigger plot brewing. Hearing this, Holman immediately declined, stating he didn't want to get involved with anything related to Terry. It was too dangerous. He thought the other side was just too terrifying to mess with, like a walking disaster. Meanwhile, Holman called his old partner Sanders. When he heard Holman needed him to investigate Terry, Sanders hesitated. As a CIA agent, he understood how formidable Terry was, but out of loyalty, he reluctantly agreed. After hanging up, Holman told Philip he was willing to join their plan, but he demanded 30% cash. Lisa immediately refused, but Philip thought it was the only way, so he had to agree. Based on Holman's intel, they checked into a high-end hotel, and right across the street was the bank they were looking for. Soon, Holman arrived with a report, revealing that this bank catered specifically to criminals. It was like a money laundering paradise. Almost all of Terry's assets were at this bank, and his home was less than 2 kilometers away. Finding him was going to be easy. So they had to devise a solid plan. If things went south, they might not even have an escape route. After Holman left, they scattered the bank's area. Lisa found few people coming and going. Only one guard at the entrance overkill. These gangsters clearly underestimated the visitors. Seizing the chance, Lisa pretended to be a client, strutting confidently into the bank, ready to show her skills. She found the account manager, confidently said Terry referred her, looking totally swagger. The manager immediately eased his doubts, as Lisa told him she had a batch of diamonds to deposit, strutting right into the vault. The crew began formulating their plan to use a jammer for the security cameras. They even had C4 ready to go. Lisa had already spent $20 on a bag of fake diamonds. What a bargain. With everything set, Holman monitored the bank area, while Philip took his daughter and launched into action. But just as they were about to leave, Terry, who was vacationing at the villa, received a call. It was Holman in a bid to get more money. Holman spilled Philip's plan to Terry. What a great friend. Lisa handed the fake diamonds to the manager, who asked as he inspected them, "Are you sure I need fake diamonds?" Looking a bit puzzled, the manager said, "Of course, we only deal in the real McCoy." Meanwhile, upon learning of the situation, Terry dispatched a ton of thugs to corner Philip's crew. Game over. Lisa cleverly pasted the decoder under the manager's desk. while he remained blissfully unaware. The manager was grinning foolishly, completely oblivious, while the two smoothly entered the vault. Lisa powered up the jammer, knocked out the manager in one swift move, and used her phone to pinpoint Tara's safe. Then she stuck the C4 onto the safe. With a loud bang, it swung open easily, and Lydia casually grabbed the USB drive. Just at that very moment, the security guard barged in, and as a result, the two were caught red-handed. Lydia nonchalantly sluggered out of the bank, while Philip waited outside to assist. However, Tara's goons quickly arrived, and just as Lisa and Philip started the motorcycle, they were met with a barrage of attacks from behind. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Stay on standby for more crazy adventures to come.